Today on Monkey Life, Alison and Jeremy go to the rescue of 4 marmosets in the West Midlands.
Yeah. Well done, Jeremy. Short and sweet.
Woolly monkey Milo tries to follow in Dad's footsteps, but Mum Lena has other ideas.
She will not let Milo go until she knows it's safe herself.
And Peanut's new baby finally gets a name. Monkey World in Dorset is one of the largest and oldest sanctuaries of its kind on the planet. For 25 years, the team have been rescuing and rehabilitating unwanted and abused primates from all over the world.
This is always the most stressful time. I want to see Kiki fit and healthy and up.
The park is run by Dr. Alison and is home to more than 240 monkeys and apes. It's 6:30 in the morning and Alison is setting off on another rescue. She's heading to the West Midlands to pick up 4 marmosets in need of a home. A court has ruled they must be removed from their owners after they were found guilty of causing unnecessary suffering to a baby marmoset.
Morning.
Morning.
You want to check your gloves anyway in the back? Got one.
Animal Director Jeremy Keeling is going along to help Alison.
Got blankets, bowls, some insects for them. I've got a bit of fruit in the car already, a catching net in case we need to. We'll see how we go, but I think we've got everything we need.
It's going to be a long day. The cruelty to the marmoset called Mikey came to light after a couple sold him for £650. The woman who bought him was so worried about the state he was in, she took him to a pet shop who alerted the RSPCA. He was found to have bone disease and fractures and had to be put down.
This was a fairly high-profile case that went down a couple of weeks ago that I had read about in the press, and then lo and behold, we got the call to ask if we could help with the animals that were involved with the marmosets. So whether or not these marmosets will stay at Monkey World long-term or not remains to be seen, but we've offered them temporary specialist accommodation. And of course, we'll need to see what physical condition they're in, because indeed that was the problem with the infant that subsequently had to be put to sleep. It had terrible, terrible rickets or nutritional bone disease and was in a really poorly way.
Alison and Jeremy are due to meet representatives of the RSPCA and the police before they go to the couple's house to collect the monkeys.
Morning. Morning. Hey, Ian, how are you doing?
Right, Alison. Good to see you again.
Again. Yes.
How are you?
I'm all right. Nice to meet you, Jackie.
Mikey developed rickets because of a lack of vitamin D3. Marmosets, which are kept as pets, need to be given this supplement because they don't get enough sunshine in this country.
Wow, that's nasty. His pelvis is just shattered to pieces.
7 fractures altogether.
I mean, the arms are bent, the tail's bent, but the pelvis looks, that's just,
but the pelvis, and
I can hardly bear looking at.
Folding fractures.
Yeah.
It's getting more and more common that people are acquiring these monkeys, whether from the internet, from newspapers, from breeders, with having little to no knowledge at all about their care. They're specialist animals, as we know, and they should not be treated as domestic pets.
The police always accompany the RSPCA when animals are being confiscated.
I've just had a quick debriefing with RSPCA and the local police, just in case anything gets a bit tricky. And cleared up a few issues that I had about the marmosets and understanding the court case and why these marmosets are being confiscated. So I'm all clear on that now, and we're just all gonna head over to the gentleman's house and take the monkeys, so see how we go.
In Dorset, the park's youngest golden-cheeked gibbon has finally got a name. Peanut gave birth to a baby boy 2 months ago.
Well, after much debate, we've actually decided to call the baby Teal. Now, the reason for this is we all agreed we wanted a name beginning with T, so that it fitted in very well with Tien and Tie Nang. And we wanted something that was Vietnamese as well. It just means Tom, and it's a really nice, lovely name that fits in very well with the family. Teal is doing really, really well. We're really happy with him. He's holding on tightly to Mum, which is the most important thing for him still to be doing. You can see that he's starting to take a bit of interest in the world. He watches things going by, and he's starting to stretch his head out and have a look at things, but still holding on tight to Mum at the moment.
Peanut's daughter, 3-year-old Tie Nang, is besotted with her younger brother.
Tie Nang, as a young female golden sheep gibbon, she is really important that she actually watches this baby and sees what Mum's doing with the baby as well. She definitely wants to play with him, but he's still too young for that yet. So when she goes over, Mum's giving her lots of grooming and fussies, and she's getting to watch the baby, but she hasn't got her hands on him just yet.
Her older brother, 5-year-old Tien, is less interested in Tio.
Tien and Tie Nang have got a lot of energy, and at the moment, because Tie Nang isn't getting that attention from Mum all the time, she's actually spending a lot of time with her big brother, and they have lots of wrestling matches, chasing games, things like that. So it's brilliant for them. It's really helping their personalities actually come out. It's helping build their strength and their stamina and their agility in the trees as well. Pretty much they get on very well all the time.
Dad Peng Yo is sensibly avoiding Mum and Tio.
Peng Yo's basically keeping out the way with Peanut and the small baby at the moment, letting her get on with that. And he's spending the time looking after the older kids, making sure that they're safe and they're actually having a lot of fun playing with him as well. So he's doing the right thing at the moment.
Peanut has proved to be a great mum time and time again.
She's done it all before, and she knows exactly what she's got to do. So we're really pleased how well she's doing.
Alison and Jeremy are on their way to pick up 4 marmosets in Stourbridge near Birmingham. The owners have been banned from ever keeping animals again, but the team don't know how they're going to react when the monkeys are taken away. With the police and the RSPCA alongside them, the owners allow Alison and Jeremy into the garden, but don't want to be filmed.
Well, do you want to have a look at the pens and see what we need to do?
Brilliant.
Okay.
The marmosets, who've been named Gizmo, Lucky, Bubble and Squeak, were bought from a dealer who encouraged them to take breeding pairs. The baby that died belonged to Bubble and Squeak. To give them the best care, Alison needs to find out as much as she can from the owner.
So these two are about how old, do you know? So how long?
So roughly about the same.
About the same.
Roughly. It's nice just to watch
And
them
out
now.
of curiosity, how much did he sell them to you for?
700, I think they was.
Each?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Marmosets come from South America. They're popular with the pet trade because they breed quickly and they almost always have twins. Jeremy has got the tricky job of catching these 4 and getting them into their travel crates.
Now, if you can just...
Yep, I'll mind doors for you.
I can lock myself in as well.
Gizmo and Lucky are first.
So Jeremy's now gonna basically open up the tiny little bedroom and try and grab. We've got them locked into the bedrooms, and he'll try and grab one at a time and put them into the box. Because in the setup, it's just, he could chase them around the outer cage, but if you're in a smaller area, it's quicker and faster just to grab. That's one been grabbed. Just make sure you twist those locks on those cages right, otherwise you'll have them out with you. Sounds like number 2.
So, 2 down, 2 to go.
There's a tail in
We
that
could set these inside and we'll face them just to keep them warm and facing each other. Is that all right?
Yep.
Bubble and Squeak are obviously frightened, but Jeremy has done this many times before. The team have to be careful the marmosets don't escape into the garden.
Got you. Yep, got you. You're good.
It's not easy to catch monkeys in this shed, as there are plenty of places for them to hide. Jeremy has to be cautious because marmosets have a nasty bite.
All done? Might just want to leave that one in until you get number 2. Well done, Jeremy. Short and sweet.
Relax.
All good.
Bubble, Squeak, Gizmo and Lucky will soon be joining the other 12 marmosets at the park.
We've got everybody loaded up. I'm really happy. Jeremy worked his magic 4 monkeys in the box in really quick, smart time. So now it's just we'll get him back to the park, get him settled. And then I'll be consulting with RSPCA on where their final home is. I don't know that it'll be at Monkey World or if they might end up some other place, but really we're just offering assistance to RSPCA on a case that they prosecuted.
There's been a lot of upheaval for Owaskar's woolly monkeys recently. They've moved into a new house, and today they're going to be allowed into their outdoor enclosure for the first time.
Owaskar's group have now settled into their new house. We've given them a few days just to get used to everything that's in there. They've explored every inch of that. They've seen all of us in there sort of fussing around this enclosure from their house window. So they seem to be quite curious as to what's going on here. So hopefully as soon as we open the slide, they're going to be quite excited.
Leader Owaskar doesn't need any encouragement. But Quappa and Zingu, 2 of the females, are more hesitant. They're not sure what to make of their new surroundings. Lena and baby Milo make their way towards them.
Owaskar at the moment is just sort of running around displaying on everything and marking his territory. I think he's decided that this is a wonderful place to be and he's just making sure that he explores every single nook and cranny of it. Woolly monkeys are quite territorial. They do live in big family groups in the wild, and obviously the Amazon is being lost at a colossal rate. So they all have to make sure that they mark their territory so that if any other group comes along, they know that it's already been claimed.
Once he's finished his patrol of the fence, Owaskar heads back for the others.
Owaskar's calling the girls, basically that's part of his job. Now that he's made sure that everything's nice and safe and that he's claimed that for them as their territory, he's going to shout on the girls, he's making sure that they know that it is nice and safe, and he basically wants them to join him. Woolly monkeys have quite specific calls for lots of different things. If they alarm call it something, it's a very distinctive noise in comparison to just a contact call where they're just chatting to each other. So the one he's making at the moment is a little contact call to the girls. Without actually seeing each other, they can still keep tabs on where everyone is.
Quappa and Zingu have plucked up the courage to join Owaskar. They immediately start to explore and forage.
This is going to be their home now from now on, so they need to get to know it, and that's exactly what they're doing.
Owaskar goes back for Lena and Milo. They haven't ventured any further. Milo is 5 months old and adores his dad. He's keen to go with him, but his mum has other ideas.
Oscar keeps going over and trying to convince both of them to come over and into the enclosure. Lena's not quite ready yet, and she's not quite ready to let Milo go yet either. She will not let Milo go until she knows it's safe herself, and it doesn't matter what Oscar tells her. He could tell her till this time tomorrow that it's safe, and she's still not going to go until she's completely ready, so she's not going to let Milo go. They'll do it in their own time. We're not going to force them to do anything they don't want to do. They'll just learn it on their own, and that's the best way.
The park often benefits from large donations of food, and today, Hananya's gang are in for a tasty surprise.
And some scrambled egg! Protein is an important part of a chimp's diet. We provide it in the form of eggs once a week. Their primate pellet that we also feed them has a good quantity of protein in there. Obviously, we wouldn't like to overload them with eggs, but as we have had quite a lot in today, we're giving them a treat. Hananya is probably the biggest fan of eggs, and usually he's quite gentle and he doesn't always steal from the other members of the group, even though he's the alpha male and could do, except when there's eggs in the equation, then he will steal from the lower rankers.
In the wild, chimpanzees sometimes eat birds' eggs they come across when they're climbing in the trees, so it's not an unusual food to give them.
We're going to feed the chimps little cups with a small portion in, so I expect some of the high rankers will grab a few cups, so they'll probably get quite a big portion of this, which is why there's not a huge amount here, because obviously we wouldn't want to massively overfeed them with eggs.
The cups are scattered all over the playroom to try to make sure everyone gets their share. The team have also put out some bread and pineapple to give the chimps some variety. Cherry, the dominant female, grabs as many cups as she can. While leader Hananya makes a grand entrance, but then ignores the eggs. Maybe it's Kate's cooking. Most of the other chimps seem to prefer the bread, especially low-ranker Tutti, who's got her hands full. Evelyn does at least try the eggs, but quickly decides she prefers the pineapple. And it's a no-go from Marjolaine too. A large part of a chimp's diet is made up of ripe fruits, and Trudy, who's a favourite of everyone in the group, has gone straight for the pineapple.
The chimps were really excited when we put the scrambled egg cups into the playroom, but didn't actually seem to eat much of it. They sort of picked the cups up and had a sort of sniff and look around, but then kind of discarded it. But there was also lots of other nice things in the playroom at the same time, so they may eat sort of the remains overnight or very early tomorrow morning, obviously once they're less full up. I was quite surprised and quite disappointed because Hananya absolutely loves eggs normally when we hand them out as boiled eggs, but obviously we can't win them all.
Alison and Jeremy have arrived back at Monkey World with the 4 marmosets they've rescued from Stourbridge in the West Midlands.
Hey guys.
Primate care staff have been preparing some temporary bedrooms for them to make them feel at home.
These are the 2 youngsters. They're a bit more flighty. We could, if you want to carry the other 2 in, Jeremy. But you can see they're already banging off the walls a bit. This one here is. So this is Gizmo and Lucky. Jeremy's got Bubble and Squeak. The youngish ones.
The team don't know yet whether the marmosets will be staying at the park or going elsewhere, but they'll look after them until the RSPCA make a decision.
Ready? Okay, yeah, as long as you're happy.
Gizmo and Lucky are released first.
Done.
Having been shut inside their travelling crate for so long, they're eager to run around.
There she is. The female's pretty tiny and a little bit skinny, so we'll want to check her out and keep an eye on her condition. It'll be up to primate care staff to get a very good therapeutic dose, so a higher than normal dose of vitamin D3 into them, just to supplement them straight away. And then we'll start building them up, because I think that they could both use a little bit of weight putting on. The male looks better than the female, but no, we'll have to keep an eye on them.
Bubble and Squeak are next. This is the pair whose baby had to be put down because it was suffering so badly from rickets and fractures.
Everybody's huddling together and sort of stuck up in the corner. And really, for this evening now, it's late in the afternoon, we just need to make sure that they have both food and water right up near to them, because I don't think that they're going to be sort of exploring too much today. And then start clean slate tomorrow morning, get them moving around, and hopefully by tomorrow it'll be a whole new life for the two pairs of marmosets, and they'll be well on their way to sort of a bit of a healthier life.
Next time on Monkey Life. An anxious time for the team when Sam and Sasak are finally allowed back into the trees.
Yeah, Jeremy and Kat, you keep an eye where she gets to down on the ground.
And Linga gives a hostile welcome to newcomer Kai at the Orang Nursery.
Right now we're going at it like sumo wrestlers, but with teeth.